In the top stories, the Agriculture Department is taking a more structured approach to managing Brotherson's greenhouses. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is to visit Haiti next week, and on the international scene, Pope Leo XIV has called for peace amid growing global conflicts. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Tuesday, the 9th of June, and I am Jasmine Thomas. First on the local scene, Director of Agriculture Stuart Versailles says a more structured approach is being introduced for the greenhouses at Brotherson's estate. During an appearance on In Focus on ZIZ, Versailles said the Ministry of Agriculture is placing greater emphasis on the management of greenhouse spaces, crop selection, and maintenance. He said the measures are aimed at improving productivity and supporting the long-term sustainability of the facility.
We do have a registration process. We will have a selection process that we will indicate to farmers when that process begins, so the appropriate right persons can actually take hold of the greenhouse and put them into the production line where we would want, because they would be guided by the Department of Agriculture. We would have started greenhouses a couple of years back, and we would have given them to various farmers and placed them on different lands. And one of the things, that is why the minister indicated, listen, I would like a central point where farmers come there.
Right.
Because we would have invested, I think, 40 greenhouses in the past on various lands, and you find as soon as the hurricane season hit and some of the greenhouses were destroyed, damaged, there were no system in place to repair them. And we're saying, listen, let's have a training session for these set farmers so they understand how to take down the greenhouse, how to put up the greenhouse during the hurricane season, strong winds. Greenhouse can be maintained, the polythene plastic can be removed, soil netting can be removed, so they weren't allowed to pass through. And as soon as the hurricane passes, we can reassemble the greenhouses and move through.
And St. Kitts and Nevis is being represented at the 66th International Session for Young Olympic Ambassadors in Athens, Greece. Flying the flag for the Federation are Shaquan Hodge and Azaria Vanterpool. Today marks the official opening of the session, with discussions focused on championing inclusion, integrity, and responsibility while building a safe and fair future for athletes. Over the next 2 weeks, Shaquan and Azaria will explore sport administration, athlete welfare, and Olympic values while connecting with young leaders from around the world. The St. Kitts and Nevis Olympic Committee said it is proud to see the Federation's next generation of sports leaders representing the country on the international stage. And Second Lieutenant Jelani Griffin of the St. Christopher and Nevis Defense Force has graduated as the top student in a regional military training course. The Joint Operations Planning course was delivered by the Regional Security System Training Institute in Trinidad and Tobago and concluded late last month. Second Lieutenant Griffin distinguished himself throughout the 2-month program and earned the course's Best Student Award. The training focused on the planning and execution of joint multinational operations and preparing security personnel to operate in complex environments. Acting Force Commander Major Coyote Sutton said the achievement reflects the high standards of the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force. Major Sutton and members of the Defense Force also congratulated Second Lieutenant Griffin for bringing distinction to the Federation. On the regional scene, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is scheduled to visit Haiti next Tuesday as the country continues to face a deepening security and humanitarian crisis. The United Nations said the visit is intended as a show of solidarity and will give the Secretary General an opportunity to assess conditions on the ground. UN Deputy Spokesman Farhan Haq said Guterres will meet with men, women, and children affected by the violence and observe firsthand the challenges facing the country. He is also expected to review efforts by Haitian authorities and the international community to restore stability. The visit comes as Haiti continues to grapple with widespread gang violence, mass displacement, and growing difficulties in accessing essential services. And the Bahamian government is advising citizens to avoid all non-essential travel to Cuba because of ongoing disruptions affecting daily life across the island. Authorities said problems with electricity supply, fuel availability, transportation, and access to basic goods and services continue to create challenges in Cuba. Officials warned that conditions, including in Havana, could change with little notice. Bahamian nationals currently in Cuba or those planning to visit are being urged to exercise caution and monitor local developments. Authorities also reminded travelers that Cuba operates largely on a cash-based system with very limited access to international banking services. Visitors are being advised to carry sufficient US dollars or euros to cover their expenses for the duration of their stay. On the international scene, Pope Leo XIV has warned that war presents a failure of diplomacy as he called for greater international efforts to pursue peace. Addressing the Spanish Parliament on Monday, the pontiff said the world is facing a profound crisis driven by violence and growing polarization. In his address to the Cortes Generales, the first ever delivered by a pope, Leo said peace requires diplomatic courage, ethical responsibility, and a commitment to resolving disputes through international law. His remarks come as Israel and Iran continue to exchange strikes in the most serious escalation of the conflict since the April truce. The speech also coincided with a meeting between the Pope and the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, who has been critical of the military actions taken by both the United States and Israel against Iran. And the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court has been suspended from duty pending disciplinary proceedings over allegations of sexual misconduct. The court's oversight body took the unprecedented step of referring British barrister Karim Khan for disciplinary action before announcing his suspension on Monday. Khan, 56, is accused of sexual misconduct involving a female aide. The allegations have been under review for more than 2 years, and Khan has consistently denied any wrongdoing. A final decision on his future now rests with the Assembly of States Parties, the body responsible for oversight of the International Criminal Court. The Assembly is expected to hold a special session to determine whether Khan can remain in the post. We now take a look at the weather. Today's weather across St. Kitts and Nevis will be partly sunny in general. Tonight will be fair to partly cloudy with only a 30% or low chance of a shower. Temperature across the Federation is 28 degrees Celsius or 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity is at 79%. Winds will be from the east at 12 miles per hour. Seas will range from 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. Sunset today is at 6:44 and sunrise tomorrow will be at around 5:35. And that brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.